Welcome to the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Darshan Mehta. Good morning, Agam.
Good morning, Darshan. I'm Agam Akil. Here are the headlines. No Monday blues for Indian markets as Nifty and Sensex mirror global cues. Start the day with strong gains and volatility remains little changed. Open interest surges in Bharat Forge as traders take fresh short positions in its stock futures after Class 8 truck sales continue to fall in December. Nifty Metal is the top sectoral gainer in trade after LME commodities gain almost 3%. And Jet Airways is trading 8% higher after lenders give Naresh Goyal time till January 21st to draw up a revival plan. And a group of ministers has allowed Kerala to levy a 1% calamity cess on goods and services in the state. The proposal will be put before the GST Council on January 10th.
Okay, let's see what the markets are doing at this point of time. An extremely strong opening for the Nifty. That seemed to dip a little while, but nevertheless, the Nifty seems to be back on track. So currently, we are trading with strong gains as far as the Nifty is concerned. Nifty is up almost 0.8%, and there is short covering that's been seen on the Nifty. So that's the trend that we're seeing in on the Nifty. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, that is seeing fresh buying positions in open interest. As far as where positions are taken, call writers are actually shedding positions from 10,700 right up to 11,000 levels. Call writers are shedding positions in open interest, and put writers are active from levels of 10,700 right up to levels of 10,900, since the market is looking rather strong in trade. Pull up where total open interest build-up is, where the maximum open interest build-up is, and you can see that at 11,000 is where there will be resistance that the market will be facing at this point of time. So that's the trend that we're seeing at this point of time. But Agam, stock specific wise, are you seeing anything?
Right, so I want to talk about those stocks which are seeing an increase, a surge in open interest, and let's pull that list up, which should be on your screen right now. And DCB Bank stands out at the top of the list, considering 1.5% increase with a 22% increase in open interest, and that is where we are seeing longs build up. Bharat Forge is under pressure, but not as much, and not the kind of decline that we would have expected. It is still down 1%, and there are still shorts building into the system with an 8.5% increase in OI. But Torrent Power and Jubilant Foodworks are the other two stocks that should be in focus, considering they are seeing fresh buying in futures. Now let's pull up the list of those which are seeing unwinding, and Infratel is looking at a decline of around 11% and another kind of climb of another 2% in your underlying. So Infratel continues to show a tremendous amount of strength. Eicher Motors and Hexaware Technologies is also looking at a little bit of unwinding, but its underlying hasn't changed too much. We're going to keep an eye on that one, considering this is largely a bout of short covering after the kind of weakness that we've seen in the previous few sessions. So I'm keeping an eye on Infratel, of course, and a bunch of other stocks, Darshan.
Okay, before we get a guest on the show, here's a reminder: if you have any queries regarding the F&O market, you can call us on 02245404141 or write to us on Twitter, Facebook with the AskPQ hashtag. Let's take a look at the stocks that we will be discussing on the radar today. First of all, we'll discuss Ashok Leyland. It's gone below the 100 level. Significant amount of fresh short positions are taken. So we'll discuss Ashok Leyland. We'll discuss the metal pack, and the reason that we're discussing is that overnight on the LME, commodities did rally anywhere between 2 to 3%. The start in China is rather strong in trade. Bharat Forge weak Class 8 truck sales and the stock at a 52-week low. What's happening there? We'll discuss counters like DCB Bank, which has moved up on decent open interest build-up, and Bharti Airtel has been buzzing off late. So we discuss all these stocks with our experts. So if you have any queries on these stocks, write to us on Twitter, Facebook, or with the AskPQ hashtag. Let's welcome our F&O experts for the day. Abhijit Phatak of Definedge Solution joins us on the show, and Chandan Taparia of Motilal Oswal Securities joins us on the show. Good morning to both of you. Chandan, I'll start with you. Good morning. What are you doing on the Nifty? What are you recommending your clients they should do?
So Nifty has been moving in a broader trading range from last 8-9 trading sessions. From last 8-9 weeks, it has been forming the alternative positive and the negative weekly closing and got stuck in a range. However, dips are being bought, but at the same time, follow is missing at higher level. So the way market is managed to respect support of 10,600, 650 zone and witness the positive opening, we are expecting it to head towards the upper band of the trading range. It also negated the formation of lower highs, lower lows of last 3-4 trading session and holding Again, it's 50-day exponential moving average. So overall trading range is likely to be between 10,650 to 10,985, 11,000 zone. And for intraday point of view, one can put the trading stop loss near to 10,750 to play the upside move towards 10,850, 880 zone.
Okay, Abhijit, good morning to you as well. How are you viewing a trade on the markets, and how would you go about it?
Yeah, good morning. Nifty is range bound, but it has a very good support between 10,700 and 750. And a breakout will be only above 10,920, 930 on Nifty spot. If that breakout happens, then it can surge by another 200 points. But till then, it is sideways, so one should be cautious on a rise near 10,900. But till that time, any dip is a buy with a stop loss below 10,750.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the Nifty. Let's get in stock-specific strategies. Abhijit, you go first. Which are the stocks that you want to recommend for today?
Yeah, one is Sell Jubilant Food. It has a very big resistance near 1250. So sell on rise, maybe if one can get near 1230 with a 20 rupee stop loss. And if 1250 is not crossed, it can go towards 1200 or even 1175. On a daily chart, it is not looking very good. And Maruti might be showing some interest with almost a double bottom last week. So that can be bought on dip near 7370, 7380 with a stop loss maybe 70-80 rupees lower. And I expect Maruti to do well in the next maybe couple of weeks towards 7500 or 7600.
Okay, and Chandan, what about you? What stocks are you betting on today?
Yeah, so comparatively more positive on the private PSU and FMCG counter. In private banks, we have positive on the ICICI Axis, Yes Bank. But here for trading point of view, I have selected to go long on DCB Bank. This stock has seen the build-up of long position by more than 12-30% on even today itself, given a positive breakout, surpasses falling supply trend line. We have seen surge in the trading and the open interest activity, which all indicates the positive momentum in the counter. So recommending to go long with a stop loss of 171 and expecting it to move towards 183 to 185 zone. Second trade, that is buy on Medco. This stock is trading near to its lifetime high territory, continuously making high tops, high bottom formation. Even in last 2 weeks, it formed the dozy or the long lowered shadow on the weekly scale, which indicates that every small decline is being bought. And it has also given a consolidation breakout of last 6-7 trading sessions. So because of that, we are expecting it to retest the recent high to 397, 400 zone. So one can buy with a stop loss of 375 to play the positive momentum and the higher side target of this stock.
Okay, those are the stocks that our guests have recommended today. Obviously, DCB Bank is also on our radar, and we'll discuss that again more in details. But let's start with the list that we had. The first stock that we want to talk about is Ashok Leyland. Now, remember, a few days ago on Bloomberg Edge, which is basically for only our paid subscribers, S. Kanan, who is with us on Bloomberg Quint, he had actually done an analysis on Ashok Leyland, and that time the counter was trading above the 100 level. So have things changed from that level? And that time he had indicated that there is a high possibility that Ashok Leyland could fall. What's the matter right now? What can Ashok Leyland do? Is there more potential downside? That's something we'll ask Kanan. Kanan, thanks for joining in on the show. You highlighted Ashok Leyland, the sell signal a few days ago, and that's what the Bloomberg terminal had also thrown up. Let's take an update on what exactly has. It's corrected almost from over 100 levels to 94 currently. What are the charts indicating and F&O trends indicating on this?
Yeah, Darshan, even as we speak now, Ashok Leyland continues to remain weak, more from the rate of change of perspective,
okay,
and on a relative basis with compared to NSE Auto Index.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So if I pull out the open interest chart,
okay,
since 30th of November, Ashok Leyland actually corrected close to 15% with an open interest build-up of 28%.
Okay.
Okay. So this is huge, and this shorts as we speak now still remains in the system, right? And off late, in the last 2 days, what we have seen is there has been a consistent call writing happening at 115 strikes, 110 and 105 today. So that actually clearly caps the upside for the Ashok Leyland, going forward. But what is also interesting is our Bloomberg proprietary indicator, which is our stability price band, kind of indicating that the supports for Ashok Leyland has been breaking down. Right. So this is a chart that I want to highlight. So what is the stability price band? So this stability price band captures the market participant trading behavior.
Okay.
Right. So the red line that you see on the graph, it's the put writers level and how are they shifting their positions up and down. So that also acts like a support. And the green line that you see is a call writers level. and how are they shifting their position up and down, over a period of time. And the white line that you see on the chart is the stability price, right? Below which the bias for the stock, remains weak, and above which the bias remains positive. And for Ashok, since December, the bias continued to remain weak. And as we speak today, and you can see that all the three lines, shifting down, which means that there is a further breakdown of supports, for Ashok going forward.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, Kannan, I just wanted to quiz you on the last red bar, which is actually hitting the red line now.
Right.
So that means that, what does that mean? How do you read that?
Yes. So last week we have seen a huge put buying happening at 100 strike level.
Right.
So the moment the 100 strike level has been taken out, because Ashok has been romancing this level for quite some time.
Right.
Even we have seen this last month, and we see that kind of a managed to stage a bounce. But this time when it tested, we have seen the shift of put writers to 95 and 90 levels, right? And currently with Ashok testing that 95 level, which again that put writers level, there is a high probability that put writers might shift further down to 90 and lower, right? So we need to watch those levels closely, because that also act like a support. But the weighted average price of the put writers still comfortable, and they are not panicky as we speak now. But there is a high probability that that level might get broken down.
Okay, Kannan, thank you so much for that. We'll certainly watch out for Ashok Leyland. We have a few viewer queries. But before the viewer queries, let's get in our experts' view on the same. Abhijit, Ashok Leyland, what does your reading of the F&O indicate on this counter?
Yeah, Ashok Leyland is definitely weak. In fact, I have been saying it right from 120 levels also. But now it is approaching a support near 90-95. And that needs to be watched closely. So, of course, I'm not saying it will bounce very sharply, but this might not be the area to go fresh short. But if it is not breaking 90, then it can create a bottom here. But that is still, just speculation. But this 90-95 support level is something which I'll be watching over the next few days, weeks.
And then what's your view on Ashok Leyland?
Yeah, really, I appreciate the study of Kannan. He has already mentioned all the data facts and price pattern of the counter. We are continuously bearish on the same from last couple of weeks, because it is continuously making lower top, lower bottom formation. Even after the bounce back and the recovery in the market, this stock is continuously falling down from last 5 consecutive series, and shorts are rolling to one series to next series. In last series, we have seen put writing at 100, and because of that, stock managed to respect that level. But now the stock is not ready to take the support near to the zone, and even started to trading below the same. In the last series, it fell to 100 but managed to recover, but now it's not happening. So that will be the more pressure in the counter, and again 100 is a psychological level for the put writer as well. So put unwinding started to happen, and the put writing may shift to the 90 strike, so which may take it to 90 to 88 kind of level. So now till it doesn't move beyond 102 level, we are expecting it to remain weak towards 90 to 88 level as per the technical setup and the derivatives database.
Okay, so the temptation would be for a lot of traders out there to go ahead and buy Ashok Leyland after the kind of correction that we've seen over the previous few days. And based on that, we have a bunch of queries. The first one comes from Shivani Dhanuka, and she says that she's already bought 10 lots of Ashok Leyland at 94.5. So close about as to where it's currently trading at. And the other question is from Madan on WhatsApp, and he wants to know if it is a good time to enter Ashok Leyland. So, Chandan, I'm going to take both these queries up with you. Would you recommend or suggest buying into Ashok Leyland? And secondly, what would you tell Shivani, who has already bought into Ashok Leyland at 94.5?
See, if I look at the monthly chart of the Ashok Leyland, this stock has formed a head and shoulder pattern, which is having the bearish implication, and the neckline of this pattern is broken below 105. So this pattern is negative bias theory, and follow-up is also visible. If I look at the weekly or the monthly chart, it is continuously making lower top, lower bottom formation. So again, when we follow the technical, we always avoid to trade the weakness. We always be with the strength. The stock which falls keeps on falling down till it doesn't turn any sentiment. So my suggestion is try to reduce the position or exit on any bounce back move. And again, the stock, the way it is falling and not recovering even after the market recovery, clearly indicates the inherent weakness of the counter. So avoid averaging, avoid taking much position in the counter, reduce the position until it doesn't sustain beyond 100 to 103 levels. I'm expecting further weakness in the counter. If someone is interested to be in the auto segment, better to be with the Ashok Leyland and the other counter, which are comparatively having the positive price setup and comparatively making higher top, higher bottom formation with potential to outperform the entire auto segment.
Okay, the next stock that we want to talk about, and that is DCB Bank. Chandan already gave a view on it. He was bullish on it, but it's moved up on high open interest build up today. 23% open interest build up. The counter is up just 1%, but nevertheless does deserve a mention. So Chandan's positive on it, so I'm not going to go to Chandan. But Abhijit, what's your view on DCB Bank at this point of time? Are you bullish?
Yes, DCB Bank is a bullish chart, no doubt, but it is showing some very small weakness intraday, so this is not the level to buy. Maybe on dip towards 173, 172 with a stop loss below 168, that might be the level to buy it.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about Titan Company then, and this is where, of course, we had quarterly updates coming in over the weekend, last Friday evening to be precise, after market hours, where the company has suggested, among many other factors, two important factors that I could take away was, first is that they have officially stated in their press release that they're looking at a 22% growth in their jewelry business. What does that mean? What are the implications for the second half of this financial year? That means and implies that they're looking at well over 28% growth in the jewelry business for H2. This also means that they are expecting a robust growth, especially on the back of the kind of season that we've seen. Now, we all know that the third quarter of the financial year is very strong for Titan Company because of weddings and wedding jewelry sales. And as the company has also mentioned, that is going to be their prime area of focus as well. Now, because of the robust outlook from the management, we have seen a further up move in Titan Company. And of course, longs are continuing to build. That's as far as fundamentals are concerned. Even on a technical basis, if you see how Titan has moved, well, from the levels of around 720, 730 back in October, it is now at 950 odd levels. So the question I'm posing with my experts is, can Titan Company be bought into, or would they be cautious at these levels, considering we've also already seen such a massive up move? Abhijit, I'm going to come back to you. Would you advise fresh longs in Titan?
Yes, definitely. Titan is a bullish chart, but not at these levels. Maybe towards on a dip towards 940, 945. With a stop loss below 920, I expect Titan to go towards 990 minimum and maybe cross 1000 if the stop loss of 920 is held.
Okay, and do remember that a lot of broking houses have maintained their positive stance. Again, Chandan, I'm going to come to you as well. How are you viewing Titan, and what levels are you watching out for when it comes to this?
Yeah, Titan is the strongest counter, and this stock is doing well and it's all set to head towards its new lifetime high territory. Just a couple of weeks back, it made the new high of 999.70 level, and I think the price setup suggests it's all set to approach to those levels. However, consolidative mood could be seen in the counter, but technically it formed a pole and flag patterns. Put writing is visible, longs are intact. So till it remains beyond 920, 925 levels, positionally we are expecting it to move towards 999,000 kind of levels.
Okay, the next stock that we want to talk about is Bharat Forge, trading at a fresh 52-week low. Again, the US truck sales data that came out indicated it's the lowest number since August 2017. So there is traction on the negative side, at least on the US sales, and Bharat Forge is a big supplier there. 10% open interest build up on the short side. Chandan, if someone wants to take a trade on Bharat Forge, can you recommend a trade? Can be pure futures, can be a mix of futures and options, or only options? I'll leave it up to you.
See, this is the stock is having weakest structure, but again the trend is not clearly negative to range bound. The stock is down today with built up of short position. Even the entire broader market recovered by more than 100 points. It has been making lower top, lower bottom formation, but only selling can be suggested on bounce back move. Recently, it has broken the multiple support of 489, 492 zone. So I think let it bounce, let it come towards 490, 95 level, then sell with a stop loss of 510 and look for downside target towards 465 and so kind of level. So here I'll wait for some bounce back move, then only I'll initiate the negative activity in the stock.
Okay, so the Bloomberg terminal is also indicating that Bharat Forge is at the cusp of being in an oversold zone according to the relative strength index, the 14-day relative strength index, because it's currently at around 31, if I'm not mistaken. But it certainly has taken a turn for the worse over the previous 4 sessions, actually, including today's 4 straight days of losses coming through. Abhijit, what about you? Would you sell into this decline further, or would you also wait for bounces to come back?
Yes, bounce near 495 or 500, and as long as it is Bharat Forge is below 510, I expect it to be weak, and maybe if it breaks today's low, it can go towards 450, 460, 445 also.
Okay, the next one we want to talk about is the metal space. Metals as a pack has done well. It did well on Friday closing when the entire China rate cut came in, and the traction seems to be continuing today also. Commodities on the LME were up anywhere between 2 to 3%, so there was traction that was happening there. On the China front, there is strong traction as far as the Chinese metals index are concerned. Abhijit, top buy in the metal space, what would that be?
I'm looking at Jindal Steel, but right now it is correcting intraday. But any dip near 152, Jindal Steel 153, 152 with a stop loss below 150, I expect it to go towards 160, 162 in the coming days.
Okay, Abhijit, what's your view on Vedanta? Because that's a double play, because that's a play on metals also, and that's a play on oil also. Oil has also rallied almost for the 6th day. What should one do on Vedanta? Is it a buy, is it a sell, or is it a hold?
Again, intraday it is showing a dip, support being near 195, 190. So that can be a buy. On a positional basis, Vedanta needs to cross that gap near 215. Until then, on a positional basis, it remains weak, but it has support near 190. So it is, I mean, trading between this range of 190 to 215 for quite a while. And maybe a breakout on the upper side can be expected, but then that needs to cross 215.
What about you, Chandan? What's your view on the metal space? What would your top long be, or if you have a short also, that can be a possibility?
See, comparatively, if you look at the entire metal segment, the medium-term trend is negative. Because of the recovery in the global market, we have seen some recovery in the most of the metal counter. So here, if I have to select, I'll go with the Vedanta only, because on last trading session, it given a small reversal formation. But again, trend is negative to range bound, one has to notice. So as of now, the counter is having support near to 189, 190 zone, while on upside it may bounce towards 200, 3, 4 kind of level. So if anyone has to go, or anyone has to play the bounce, then better to go with the Vedanta, but only on dips, only for the bounce back point of view. While talking about the Hindalco and other counter, we have seen some recovery in last 2 trading sessions, but follow-up is missing, and that is the reason that most of these counter may find again pause in the positive momentum or pause in the buying interest, and which may provide the selling pressure. So only bounce back recovery could be seen in these stocks.
Okay, I'm really curious about what's going on with Bharti Infratel, and the reason is that the stock has advanced for 8 of the last 10 sessions. It has advanced, and it is moving up for the 5th straight day. And what is really curious is that while it did move considerably above your 150 daily moving averages, today is the day when it actually moves back above the 200 DMA. So there is a little bit of resurgence in strength for Infratel. Funnily enough, there's actually some amount of unwinding going on after a longs building up that we've seen in the previous few days for Bharti Infratel. Abhijit, if you could help us decipher what's going on with Bharti Infratel and possibly the levels that you're watching out for if you would go long at this point in time.
Yes, Infratel has given a very strong reversal, and it is a buy on dip, and with the stop loss, as you said, below the 200-day moving average. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 300 or maybe even higher, 320 kind of levels in the coming days.
Chandan, how are you reading Infratel right now? Any variables that you'd like to talk to us about?
Yeah, it seems that the stock is all set to head towards 300. We have seen built up of long position by around 14 to 16% in the last couple of trading sessions. It also given a consolidation breakout. It used to be a very dull counter, but the way it has given a breakout, it seems that it can head towards a 300 kind of zone. So I think the stock, which is moving well from last 5 days, can continue its positive momentum for next 1 or 2 days.
Will the momentum continue in Bharti Airtel also, Chandan?
We have a more positive setup in the Bharti Infratel. However, Bharti Airtel also giving some consolidation breakout, but here I need a decisive range breakout beyond 333 levels. So if it moves above 333, then for sure we can see further momentum here. But as of now, it can head towards 333. But near to 333, we have to again relook at the counter for the price breakout towards 340 to 45 zone.
Okay, Abhijit, anything interesting that you're spotting? It's been a while since we are chatting, and the market has moved up to the highest point of the day. Anything apart from the stocks that we discussed or your earlier recommendations that you're spotting that looks interesting and that can be and trade can be initiated on that?
No, I think it's the same. Maruti has already moved up, and Jubilant is still there only. So I stick to those 2 trades. and Nifty also has moved up. So, but Nifty is, as I said, approaching resistance. So one needs to be cautious near 10,900 levels.
What about you, Chandan? Anything apart from the stocks that we've been spoken about or recommended? Anything that you want to speak about now?
Yeah, we discussed about Marico and DCB, and one can again look at the selective private bank, because if market has to move up, then Bank Nifty has to take a lead. So stocks like ICICI Bank and Axis Bank could be on focus. One can look here, and I think buying interest could emerge. And in heavyweights, one can also look at the Reliance. The stock has taken supported trend line, formed hammer on last trading session, follow up with buying is seen. So again, positive to range bound move could be seen in the Reliance, which may take the market to higher zone.
Okay, and we'd like to conclude by talking about one other stock. We have Tata Elxsi, which is very active in the futures and options space. Futures specifically is going to announce its earnings tomorrow, and we've seen a near 13% increase in OI right now in the January series, of course. The stock is actually declining by less than 1% right now. It's at 996, and as we have been highlighting, it continues to consolidate it around the 1,000 mark over, well, I would say the previous few weeks actually. Chandan, before we conclude, how would you trade? How would you see trade on this stock?
So this stock has gone stuck in a broader trading range. Even on the monthly scale, it formed a narrow range price behavior. So lows and highs both are converging. So require a decisive range breakout, then only we can see any set of momentum. However, before that it fell down. So it might be the negative flag pattern. But for that, it has to drip below 970.65 zone, then only we can understand negativity. While on the upside, it is finding hurdle near to 50-day exponential moving average that's come to 1050 kind of level. So for me, as of now, it's no trading band. It has been stuck in a trading range, and I think it must be waiting for a couple of heavyweight IT result to kick-start the next leg of rally.
Okay, that's all we have for time for in this show today. Abhijit, thank you so much. Chandan, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your perspective on the stocks that need to be spoken about. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show. From Agami and the entire team watching the show, thanks for watching. But for more updates on the F&O space, you can check out our website, bloombergquint.com, and you'll get all the information on the F&O market. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition. Thanks for watching.